Welcome back to Project Zomboid. Today we're playing with a very interesting mod pack in my opinion. We start off in some kind of large construct. Checking my map, it's registered as medical, but it sure doesn't seem like a hospital. Since I know zombies will start making their way towards me as soon as I enter, I decide to start looking for a weapon. All the zombies I have are going to be sprinters, though their toughness and strength is random. After entering into some long hallway, I decide to check out this big room. Turns out to be some kind of cafeteria. While it doesn't seem to have any decent loot, it has a lot of corpses. On the other side of the hall there is another cafeteria. This entire building is structurally unsafe. There's too many windows here for it to be considered a good spot. Regardless, I'd rather take my chances in here than out there in the fog right now. I find myself in some sort of kitchen. This is probably a good place to find a weapon. At least something better than the scissors I have. I find some canned food, which is going to be helpful if I decide to stay here, and I also find some water. The fridges seem to have quite a lot of food actually. I eat a cheese sandwich and decide to leave the kitchen for now. Making my way back onto the hallway, there's even more windows here. I find some sort of a rec room with a vending machine and a television. If I really wanted to, I could watch Life and Living here, but I'm not sure how much I trust it. Considering in my mod pack, zombies just break through windows instantly and run in, I'd rather not risk having one hear the TV from outside. Additionally, the building reveals itself to be absolutely huge, with several sections I will need to explore. In the garbage pile, I also find a bottle. I decide to break it, just so I can use it as a makeshift weapon for the time being. I decide to start exploring some rooms, and I didn't notice what was outside until it decided to run in. If you couldn't tell from the intro, this sound pack mod makes zombies infinitely more horrifying. Soon after, however, I find a set of stairs. This means there's a second floor. I decided if I'm going to stay here, I would definitely have to stay in the second floor. After getting onto the second floor, I see that we have rooftop access and make my way in. This seems to be some kind of a lobby area with stairs that lead up. If I was going to survive here, I was probably gonna have to barricade all these doors. There seem to be quite a few small rooms with a bit of furniture. I don't know what I could use these for, but for the time being, they weren't that useful. There also appeared to be some kind of built-in church room. Right next to this room was a bathroom. This is a good source of water for the time being. Next to that, there was a small storage room. All it had was twine, so I didn't really feel like taking it for the time being. The second floor also has a kitchen with some food. It doesn't have a sink for some reason, but at least it has ovens I can use. While checking out clothing, I got a panic moodle. Usually I rely on the panic moodle to know when there's a zombie nearby that I personally didn't see. Unfortunately for me, I'm playing with random sound events. This means that at random, the panic moodle is going to be activated, and I'm going to think I saw a zombie even though there's nothing there. Regardless of that false alarm, the clothing selection wasn't really anything special, although I would come back here later. I then decided to check out the other side of the second floor. There's a couple of storage rooms here. These seem to have planks and some tools, which are pretty good. I needed some weapons, and I can then use these planks to barricade some doors if I need to. I can also hear a zombie eating a corpse downstairs. I decided to check out the other storage room, only to receive a surprise. Yeah, that wasn't real. Even though that hallucination just broke a window, I should mention that my character is also a raging schizophrenic. Now and then I'm going to have hallucinations which will cause me to scream and drop my weapons. After that scare, I immediately get to work on barricading whatever I can. After all, the most important thing is that zombies don't get in. Soon enough, however, I realize I'm not exactly alone up here. Something this sound mod also does is replace the door sounds with something infinitely more effective. These door sounds are way more horrifying for some reason. Just the fact that it's not the sound of a zombie mindlessly banging its head on a door makes it infinitely scarier. I decide for the time being to lock up the doors behind me. I wasn't intending on going there anytime soon with a creature right behind one of the doors, so it was better if it wouldn't see me in this hallway either. I decided to head down this hallway just to see what there was. There were quite a few office rooms which were kind of useless in terms of loot. But at the end of the hallway there was a very good room which I was going to use as my safe house for the time being. This room had an absolutely absurd amount of ammunition despite having no functioning firearms. The only weapons inside were kind of bugged, unfortunately. One of my favorite parts of the schizophrenia trait are the random barricade breaking noises that give you panic and absolutely destroy your eardrums. After trying to smoke to see if it would help the anxiety moodle, I decided adding some sheets to the doors and windows of my safe room. At this point I can hear quite a few doors being banged on, and I've already heard quite a few windows break, meaning the bottom floor is most certainly compromised. All I can hope is that the second floor is relatively safe for the time being. Once again, the apparition strikes, this time choosing to manifest right inside my safe room. At least this time I have time to prepare and unequip my weapons so I at least don't drop them. The fact that I'm going to yell out and alert a ton of zombies, however, isn't great. Realizing I really don't have that much food, I decide to go and try and find where these zombies are and maybe try to take out one or two. I try to find out where the zombie is going to be, and then I take it out. I got lucky with a relatively weak one at least. I then decide to barricade the doors that lead up here instead of those doors on that big separation area. It seems smarter. Unfortunately, while doing this, more zombies found their way over. I decided to barricade this side first. The barricades will provide a health boost to this door, and it's already damaged from before. We wake up on day 2 and things aren't exactly seeming better. I was woken up about 5 times during the night due to random sound events and whatnot. And there seems to be just as much, if not even more, banging on the doors now. Additionally, they broke down all the barricades on one of the doors, leaving it basically completely unprotected. I realized my only option was going to be to kill them. I figured, however, instead of having to go and fight them head on, I decided to just block the doors and I would sneak up on them from behind instead of opening the door. Like this, I could hopefully just pull one of them towards me while the other keeps targeting the door. Down the stairs, I could hear another one banging on a door and talking about something. Thankfully, it seemed to be alone, so I managed to take it out. I quickly noticed just how many windows had been broken during the night. Pretty much not a single one was left untouched. I had no idea just how many zombies were inside by now. Up ahead, I saw another one banging its head on another door and decided to try and get it with a sneak attack. Eventually, I headed back to the other stairwell so that I could get a sneak attack on whatever was banging on my door. Getting up there, I only saw one and decided to take him out. It was relatively easy. I don't know where the second one went, but I know there were 2. Yesterday at night, there were simply too many bangs at a time for it to be only one zombie. Now that I felt much safer on the ground floor, I decided to keep looking around. I was looking for any kind of non-perishable food I could take back up to my safe room. I decided to make my way down an unexplored area. Maybe there would be some kind of loot here. After that quick little spook, I found some kind of weird barracks area with a lot of rooms. There's at least 100 rooms in this section here. Even though they didn't have good loot, they had zombies around. and I wanted to make sure I got rid of as many of them as I could. So getting one that was standing alone was pretty much perfect for me. As you can probably hear, there's still more in here. In fact, I heard a window breaking, which meant another one probably just entered as I was fighting. I didn't know where, but he sounded close enough to be a problem. Another one down, but I could still hear one tapping on wood. This most likely meant that it was trying to break barricades so that it could get in. After getting closer to this window, I could hear it, and that jump scare sound basically confirmed that it was in fact trying to get in. While on the way back to my safe room, I had to fight off another one. This one was just staring at a door for some reason. This one seems to have been a tough zombie. It took an unusual amount of hits to take it down. The schizophrenia trait kind of just adds a horrifying cherry on top to this concoction of mods I have. Not long after, I decided to check this kitchen again. Maybe I forgot a can or two. The worst part about schizophrenia is that I can never feel safe because I have absolutely no idea which zombies are real and which ones aren't. Unfortunately for me, this one was very much real. I may be playing with transmission disabled because it really doesn't make sense with the setting, but it's never good to get hurt. Returning upstairs, I decided I would place some more of these shelves to block out these doors. The more blocked out I could be, the better. The last thing I needed was to have one of these things jump at me while I was asleep. If I ever needed to leave, all I had to do was to simply rotate the shelves and exit. At this point, I was already getting pretty tired, and I figured the best plan of action would just be to go to sleep. If I could get any sleep. Even though I came out with a little bit of damage, I must admit that this was actually a pretty successful day. I actually managed to bring back quite a lot of food and, more importantly, literature. If I was going to survive here, I was going to need a wide set of skills, and these XP books are probably the best way to do it. After putting away some items, I picked up some new clothes from that little clothes store, I think. All that matters is that these clothes are brand new and they have much better protection.
Open the door.